Hey Walking Dead fans, welcome back to the channel. Let's do another season 1 video, and this will be on Amy's death. There's a whole bunch of season 1 videos on the channel. I will leave a link to the playlist down in the description below.
Yeah, up there's a camp, and that's where 3 of the characters are gonna get bit.
Emma Bell, who played Amy, was just in the first season. This is, of course, a video on Amy's death. It is a season 1 video, but she went to Comic-Con. She was on most of the posters and everything. Like, hey, this is a big character.
Action! I walked on set and it was straight out of the comic book.
This is a main character. You know, Daryl wasn't at Comic-Con, Norman Reedus, and he wasn't on really any of the main posters and artwork that came out. He was on a few here and there in the background. Emma Bell, or Amy, she was out kind of in the front. Overall, she was a big character in that first season because she was the hinge of Andrea. A lot of the story that followed Andrea all through the first season pertained to Amy, really. Back when Rick first met Andrea and they were in that shopping center, and Andrea was looking for some type of piece of jewelry for Amy, and she was asking Rick, do you think it's wrong? And Rick's like, I think we're just in different times, and go ahead and take something. And of course, at the quarry camp, at the campfire, a lot of things went wrong in a quick moment, and a walker gets Amy.
Amazingly sort of moving campfire sequence, and then chomp!
So it's Amy's death going forward as far as Andrea's story all through season 1 that kind of really carries things as far as Andrea, how she feels. She gets to the CDC and she wants to stay. When Jenner says, hey, this place is about to blow, we're going to die in just not even a split second. It'll be so quick and it's all over. This crazy hellish world we're living in will end. And Andrea's like, yeah, give me some of that. Of course, Dell kind of stayed and changed all of that. But as far as Andrea goes, Amy's death was just such a huge impact. And as far as a character, season 1 character, like I say, she didn't make it through season 1, and she didn't really even have a whole bunch of scenes. I really think the character existed because of Andrea, and Andrea lived on in the comics, so that definitely carried forward with her there. But in the show, of course, even up to Andrea's death, I think Amy's death played a big part in her life. You can notice in some of these behind the scenes photos as they're shooting, they have some plywood up on some apple boxes and wood chips on it, like they had wood chips on the ground before, but they needed to get the camera like right down at Amy's level. So they raised the ground up per se with these apple boxes, and the wood chips just help hide the plywood. Hey, it looks just like the ground did. But definitely emotional. In the behind the scenes, Andrea and Amy, both actresses, are talking about just living the moment, how they shot the scene and getting into it. They just kind of went with it, and the emotion. There's a lot of emotion there anyway with the characters, with the actresses, even that Emma Bell's leaving, and Andrea, she's Laurie Holden. You know, they were like really good friends, so it's a lot of emotion and emotion in the scene and everything just tied up. And even though she was very, very short-lived, I really like Emma Bell and wish she could have stayed around just a little bit longer.
Tonight we are shooting a big scene where there's zombies attacking.
Of course, Amy's death scene was at the quarry camp, and I've done a video on quarry camp and some other videos around that time frame as far as Shane and Lori and Carl getting to, trying to get to Atlanta and ending up forming kind of quarry camp. And they met Carol and Ed and Sophia on the road, so they kind of were together since then, trying to get into Atlanta. So definitely check out those season 1 videos.
There's all these fake dead zombies around here. They look awesome.
And it was Greg Nicotero, of course, doing the makeup effects, and he trusts other people, of course, but he's like, I just wanted it be myself. So Greg Nicotero played the walker that bites Amy, and he's like, I knew the placement of the prosthetic and the blood and the hose where the blood was going to come out. I just knew where that was. And I was going to bite into that. And, you just want to be careful and not bite into the arm, and just wanted to make it look good. So he took control of that situation and got on camera once again. He was actually at least 2, maybe 3 walkers in season 1, and he's been walkers all through all the seasons.
I ended up playing the zombie because I knew that the bite placement and the performance was critical.
But I thought the makeup stuff was really cool. It went really well. Greg Nicotero did an awesome job biting into that arm.
I just realized there's scissors in my arm.
And of course the group is just sitting there kind of lounging around the campfire, and here comes the walkers. A lot of things could have caused the walkers to come that way. Glenn's car, some gunshots. Remember the horde of walkers that when Rick was riding on the horse back in the very first episode, he looked up, saw a helicopter reflection, heard a helicopter, and later on in season 2, we see that, hey, that's what started a whole bunch of them heading toward following that helicopter sound. Could the ones that attacked the quarry camp been a part of that group coming out that way? But then there's a lot of debate on, if Rick hadn't went back for Merle, would they have been able to fight the walkers off? They wouldn't have had that bag of guns, because Rick and Daryl and Glenn, they got the bag of guns. T-Dog, I think, went with them. They got that bag of guns and brought it back. I think a lot of people think Rick gave the bag of guns to the gang, but he only gave some of the guns out of it and all this kind of stuff. But I've done a video on that. You can definitely check it out if you're interested. But they had the guns when they got back and was able to shoot a bunch of the walkers. Would they have been able to fight them off? Would more people have died? So it could have been if Rick and Daryl and Glenn and T-Dog had stayed at the camp, a couple of more people could have died, because they showed up right in the nick of time as far as with the guns. So it's just hard to say. That's definitely a debate on, would they have lost more people? Would Amy have even died? I think Amy would have died anyway. That was such an out of the blue thing. The walker just came right around and got her. She had went to the RV to use the restroom or to get some toilet paper or something like that, or they were out of toilet paper. I think she came back out of the door and was like, really? You guys used up all the toilet paper or something? And she had her arm up on the door, and that's when the walker got her. Then, of course, Andrea, dealing with her death, she put the gun on Rick, and I think she said something about the safety, because Rick was telling her how to use the gun earlier down in the city and about the safety, and she's like, I know how to use the safety now or something. And she just needed to stay there until Amy came back. I think Lori tried to talk to her, Dale tried to talk to her, but when Amy did reanimate, let her reach at her for a moment, but then put a bullet through her brain. Gotta love that first season. Gotta love the first season characters, all the originals, just as we're meeting them and learning about them. And back then, watching these season 1 shows and mirroring it to the comics, since I did read the graphic novels and stuff, and it's just it was just an amazing time, an amazing show. Became the biggest show in the world, and it's because of a lot of this stuff right here, season 1. But again, kudos to Emma Bell for playing such a great character, Amy, bringing her to life on screen, so that's really amazing. And let me know what you think about it all. Any questions, any ideas you have, put them down in the comments below, and I'll join you there. Don't forget to check out the Season 1 playlist. Lots of great videos there as well, and you can join in on those discussions down in the comments on each video. But this is James in Nashville. Stay healthy, everyone, and as always, thanks for watching. And stay tuned for more dead stuff.
Zombies have attitude.